My name is Elizabeth Cheong. This is my first time not only attending but speaking at a public hearing, so sorry if I'm really nervous. I am opposed to this rezoning application at 105 Keefer Street. I am a born and raised Vancouverite. I attended General Brock Elementary School and St. Francis Xavier Elementary School, which used to be in Strathcona but relocated to Great Northern Way. I graduated from UBC's Sauder School of Business with a concentration in marketing and real estate and a minor in Asian Canadian and Asian migration studies, semi-recently. Thanks to the determination of my parents and my grandmother, from the age of 4, my siblings and I attended Chinese school near Strathcona after school 5 days a week. Because of this schooling, I'm lucky enough to be fluent in Cantonese and Mandarin and can communicate to Chinese elders in the language that they feel most comfortable in. Now I work in Chinatown, and on my daily life to and from work, I can easily wave to 5 or 6 merchants and share friendly greetings in Chinese with them. In Chinatown, people are very approachable. There's a distinct difference between the pedestrian activity and ambiance in Chinatown compared to other areas in Vancouver. A lot of people in Chinatown have lived and worked there for a long time, some for decades or even generations. Restaurant staff are on a first-name basis with most of their customers, or if they aren't, they will playfully call you Lang Zai or Lang Loi when they recognize you, which means handsome man, handsome boy, or handsome girl. The seniors are the heart of this neighborhood, but there are also the countless youth who volunteer here with the seniors that make their often isolated day-to-day life much more livable. Together they form what I think is the soul of Chinatown, which is familial love. I volunteer at the Brock Farney Pavilion, which is a long-term care facility under Providence Healthcare. Most of the residents at that facility are not mobile and see very few visitors. I see a stark, heart-wrenching contrast between the way that they exist and the way that the seniors in Chinatown live. I strongly believe that the seniors in Chinatown, who regularly gift strangers with the brightest smiles, enjoy longer and healthier lives because they have a strong community looking after each other, despite differences in age or background. Now this community is at risk of being erased. Throughout this rezoning process, I've heard a recurring comment: the developer isn't making enough money. So what is enough money? What might be true is that the developer isn't making as much of a profit as they had expected when they decided to put a bid to purchase the site. One way that developers determine whether or not they will purchase a site is by calculating a land residual value. And to determine that value, they calculate the potential profitability of the land minus the other expenses that are associated with putting it into productive use. So it's a rough estimate of what they will make and pocket. So I have a feeling that the potential to rezone the site was calculated into the profitability of the land, and the developer expected much higher returns than what they would make without the upzoning. The land residual value, depending on the type of project you intend to build, is key to determining the highest and best use for a site, which sounds comprehensive, but is really just based on what is physically possible, appropriately supported, and financially feasible. So market appropriateness and neighborhood context is often overridden. In a student project report that I once submitted, we recommended that the developer apply for rezoning in a highly sensitive neighborhood. We wrote in our report, the developer must show the community that this proposal meets an underserved need in the area. Social housing is indeed an underserved need, but the 25 affordable units that are ambiguously promised are not substantial enough. After attending the entire public hearings on Tuesday and Thursday, 105 Keefer has really taken over my mind. Chinatown is a National Historic Site and a global tourist attraction. I had dinner in Steveston with my friends on Tuesday night, another tourist attraction in Greater Vancouver. The little shops with unique offerings reminded me of Chinatown, but it doesn't have the cultural environment that Chinatown can boast. So could you imagine allowing 2 15-story tall condos in Steveston in the name of economic revitalization? And then after you realize the negative impacts and unintended consequence, you allow more just because the first mistake was already made? There must be a more creative way to achieve the intended goal of community development. Why are we even considering this application in Chinatown, one of the top 10 endangered places in Canada? I urge Mayor and Council to reject this rezoning application. Thank you.
All right, thank you.